Well, no, I haven't. I mean, I have rough numbers, but until we really see, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but my backyard, the light on it changed dramatically in a month. So we kind of want to see where and what months, because we don't want to shade for March. We want it to be more in the, summertime area. Yeah. That's where we are. That's all of that.
Great. Mr. Operator, you got anything for us?
Well, I'm happy to report that the chlorine conversion last month went about as well as I expected. So it went well. We didn't get very many calls, if any. So that was pretty good. I mean, I got some some phone calls, kind of communicated back and forth, and it's like, yeah, we did notice a change in the taste of the water, or whatever, but nothing to scale. I mean, no phone
And
calls.
nothing offensive, just
Nope,
it's
nope.
a change, right?
Yep. So it worked out well. We got to flush our distribution system, which is a really good thing to do. So yeah, just a heads up, our numbers for water use, water loss may not look so well, especially on the monetary side, but I think it's a good investment in having some good clean pipes going out to our residents. So as of this morning, City of Round Rock has converted back to chloramines, so they're now feeding ammonia again. Our flushing is not going to be as intense as it was before, because now the pipes are cleaner. They've been cleaned out, and we did get some crazy stuff coming out on
Really?
some of the, especially this line right here feeding the community center. It's a 6-inch, 8-inch line that feeds a 2-inch meter, and yeah, there was a lot of calcium and stuff that we pulled out. So just a little build up stuff. So interesting, but nothing too crazy. So yeah, the next few days, you might notice a little bit of a change in the water, but hopefully within the week we'll be back to normal. Especially with the way folks are using water right now, it's insanely
pretty
crazy.
quick.
So yeah, but no, so far so good. That was the big thing for this past month operationally, is watching the
Did a
distribution.
lot of people take advantage of the relaxing of the restrictions? I mean,
We
with all
didn't
the
see
rain, it's like,
Yeah, it was. I have noticed. I mean, usually summertime are high points for pump station. That's kind of what I use as a gauge, is how many starts our pumps are starting every day. The high number that we saw last year was about 168 starts. Yesterday was 171, so slightly higher, but I mean, we're not even in the heat of summer yet, so there's been a lot of water use, So
So this kind of flushing, is there a best practices, like this should be done every so often, or is it more of a clue that people look at things in the water and say, oh, it's time to flush? How is that triggered?
no,
And you may have told me this and I've forgotten.
yeah, no, just as a matter of normal operations, every cul-de-sac, every dead end we have in the system, we have to flush out. And we do that. I mean, Richard, one of our guys, I mean, he spends a lot of time flushing. We're flushing to the tune of about 40 to 50,000 gallons per month in cul-de-sacs. I mean, just Oak Brook alone, there's like 38 cul-de-sacs or something. There's a lot of cul-de-sacs. And we do a lot of flushing in the Oak Brook side, mostly because that's the furthest point. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, we monitor chlorine residuals, we flush, and if that residual seems to be coming low, we'll up our flushing. But yeah, it's mostly monitoring. If we do get a phone call, which is rather rare, but we'll do some targeted flushing or whatever. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, the system flushes out pretty good itself with the higher usage in the Oak Brook section. So yeah.
But as far as a water treatment plant treating this, i.e. the city of Round Rock, there's no set schedule that they should do a burnout like this.
Right.
I think it's a matter of their testing and everything. They start seeing, and then it's like everybody that is a customer of that. Yeah,
And-
there's no set guidelines that say
Timetable,
every
yeah.
5 years you need to, no,
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
yeah,
And burnout is one of those terms nowadays, like, oh, you can't
Don't
say
say that.
burnout. Same thing. I'm old school. I call
Yeah.
it a burnout, but I mean it's a maintenance that if your water quality is at a good high point, then I mean there's really no need to do that. But the chemical testing we do on a daily basis, even on weekends, I mean we test 365 a year. Yeah, mostly we'll see a section where the chlorine residual starts coming down, nitrification starts happening. So that'll be a target area to flush the system and make sure that we've got fresh water in there. It's adequately disinfected. So, yeah, that's one of the big things we do is the chemical testing and flushing and stuff, just to guarantee that we've got some good safe water. So that's our mandate.
There you go. Perfect.
Other than that, that's all I have. Next month might kind of settle, maybe not. I mean, with the tennis courts coming along, that's going to be something keeping us busy. But yeah, so far so good. Praise God.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. All right. Let's jump into the committees. Roads Committee. Anything to report?
we're getting some calls over in Oak Brook. Yeah, I'm sure y'all are getting them too. AT&T is doing fiber, and they're doing literally some cuts all along the curbs.
Yeah.
That's what those orange things
really
are
cool.
at the corner.
Yeah,
Well, they have the orange, yeah. They did it.
no
in the corner of my
parking
house.
7 a.m.
Yeah,
to,
but it's only the streets they're working on. They put
Yeah.
it up the day before. So I had a talk with the manager. I happened to run into him. Well, I didn't run into him, but I talked to him while he was in his truck. And, he goes, look, as far as this stuff, they bury the connecting things, except for, they haven't actually strung the fiber yet, right? So you just have the tubes that are coming up out of the ground. I was really impressed with the trenching tool that they use, because it's this wide, and then they throw, some kind of quick grate on top of it. And supposedly they're going to come out with asphalt later and cover the lines with asphalt. That's what this guy told me. And he also told me that he says, yeah, everybody should check their irrigation lines, because they will come out and fix it if they let them know. Right?
Did you get his phone number?
Yeah, actually, I put it on Facebook,
Yay.
because they put it on a door hanger card too.
Good.
So, I was impressed. I checked my irrigation, and in fact, they've got this thing coming up at the corner. I don't know if you guys have been through.
Mm-hmm.
And you look down, and there's my one of my lines. You can see it coming up.
right there.
But they didn't break it, and so people were concerned about that. But I just, if somebody complains on Facebook, I just say, hey, call this number and let them know, and they're going to come out and fix it. Now, whether they do a good job or not is not my problem, right?
Agreed.
But
Our
they
staff
were really
has
good about it.
had a couple conversations with them to let them know when AT&T did that over here and they were doing the illegal dumping. We take it seriously, and we have a very good legal team. So if any of your people, any of Oak Brook
Mhm.
contacts you and says, oh, there's this pile of yuck, call me immediately.
So far, what I've seen has been clean.
Good.
But that doesn't mean I'm not in every street.
And operationally, I personally, I like that they're doing this method as opposed to just going down underground.
Oh, yeah.
Can't see what you're hitting or whatever. So
They
It's a
actually,
mess.
marked where apparently the water line came in by the fire hydrant,
mm-hmm.
and they actually stopped. And they dug up by the fire hydrant
Mm-hmm.
and used a high pressure to go underneath the roadway.
Right.
To get to the slot. And then they wrapped it around so that they weren't hitting the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
piping. So
Yeah,
it
definitely a
looked pretty
preferred
clever.
method. So it's pretty
Yeah.
good.
So I was really impressed, because I watched that thing all day long, just going up the street. And they actually had a truck in front of the device that sucked up the residual, shavings and cuttings. So that was pretty quick. They did my street in like 3 or 4 hours, and even though it's a cul-de-sac, it's
Mhm.
short. But
Nice.
they were on Crescent Heights today.
Yeah, I think they were on one of the warms
Warm,
over there
cold.
too. Yeah.
So, but
More
anyway,
moon, more mist. We could, yeah, more
they
breeze.
put the no parking signs up the day before they're going to go out and do that particular road.
Very
So I
smart.
haven't, aside from the first, when they did the other side of O'Connor on Morgan Hill, I really haven't heard any complaints.
That's good.
So
That's good.
Yeah.
That's all I have as far as roads. No updates on Wyoming. Yeah. That's all I
Okay.
have.
Fair enough.
They paid my cul-de-sac last week.
They
The-
fog
it-
sealed it or they chip sealed it?
It was an emulsion seal, not a chip seal.
yeah, they do that.
Even in the
cul-de-sacs.
cul-de-sac?
That's what they did. They didn't do the rest of the street. They just did the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, fog seal.
That's called a
Fog
fog seal.
Fog seal, yeah.
Yeah, they're supposed to be doing the cul-de-sacs. I think they did some other ones in Stone Canyon on this side of Brightwater. I don't know if they're tagging people's houses like they're supposed to.
Don't know. They did block off that end, the circle into the street,
Excellent.
and cars were off of it. Why are these cars parked in front of my house
Yeah.
this morning? Oh.
It was interesting when they did Oak Brook, they actually had the street sweeper come by before and then 2 or 3 times after to try and suck up the stones that were loose at the time, within the couple of days. And they told me, they didn't tell me, they told my neighbor who lives on a cul-de-sac that they weren't going to do the fog seal until it was, the fall, because when they can't do it when it's really hot. So I don't know.
That was part of the reason the chip seal last time kind of fell apart because
'Cause
they did it.
really
It was
hot.
too hot.
Yeah.
The fog seal they can do right now. The chip seal they can't.
He told me they couldn't do the fog seal until it cooled off, but I don't know. It's a different story depending on who you talk to, I
That's
guess.
exactly right. 100%.
All right, budget committee. I've got nothing to report. We need to get to those soon, probably.
Yeah, next month, Hector and I, actually, we're very close to having a draft budget put together. We just need to sit down with you and Kevin and kind of hash it through. I think we'll be completely ready to bring it to the board on July 24th.
Perfect.
I won't be here.
Okay, oops. Anyway, that's all I have, budget-wise. If any board member has anything particular about the budget, contact me now. We can
Okay.
get through it.
District Community Center Committee. Anything to report?
Doors are working okay?
Hmm?
Doors are in good shape.
Oh,
You
Your
do
doors
that
are in good
every
shape.
month. You and I are changing seats.
throwing
We're-
some shade over here.
No, they're not. But we'll talk about that at another
So
time.
every time I bring that agenda item, I'm opening the door to that comment.
Chris.
I guess you got to change that minus the door.
They discuss this
Oh,
precisely.
yeah.
Ghost in the door.
And now we have a lizard that's trying to get through one of the doors. Yeah, those spiny looking things. Oh,
It scared me.
he likes, I know he stays out there by the staff door. I think we're going to try to catch him.
Is he a
Yeah, I
Komodo
think
dragon?
He looks like a Komodo dragon. I mean,
Yeah, those seem to
they
be-
are
those-
pretty ugly.
Yeah, they seem to be around. I've seen more of them this year, last year
Yeah.
than I usually do. Usually you get the little geckos.
Yeah, no,
The
these
little
are
green
those.
guys.
No.
Oh, yeah, they got, they look like little mini Komodo dragons or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. What are they called? Texas spiny?
Okay.
Texas
Yeah.
spine.
Yep.
Do you
Oh,
like
nice.
them? You have one as a pet?
Oh,
We'll
those are
try to
great.
catch this one. Give Hector your name and phone number. You would like another one.
Yeah.
They're
I'll give
very
you mine,
important to the
too.
ecosystem.
Yeah, I have
They
one
are?
and a half.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
they probably eat bugs.
There's another ecosystem that they can move themselves to because it scares me to death when I walk out that door. Wow.
I'm looking at you, Jamie.
I know.
It's weird. It's
He's
like
looking
they,
at the door.
they have a psychic ability or something because I open the door. It's like right when it's getting light, I open it. And it's like waiting for me and staring at my face.
Oh, yeah. No.
Attack of the spiny lizard.
We can capture him and name him Carlton. He can be our doorman.
Nice. Only if you can do the
They're
dance.
seriously ugly.
All right.
Digress.
Yeah, we digress, exactly.
Deed restriction committee. We have stuff to discuss with legal tonight, right? On that later.
Yes, sir.
We're
just
gonna
one item.
just preview. We're going into executive session for some of that stuff. So, security committee. I have nothing. Communications. Director Smith, do you have anything?
Yeah, you caught me at a loss here. I think we need to start thinking about another newsletter.
Absolutely.
So I guess I'm open for content in terms of, what we think we need to add, other than that I guess the water restrictions are going to be back in place next week or this week
July.
in July. What else do we have?
Parks.
Right, reiterating the new parks rules. So those are two items. If you think of any others, let me
I have a
know.
little thing on Texas spiny lizards.
Pictures and everything.
I'll have to get my camera out.
One thing I did fail to mention was consumer confidence report.
Oh,
That's done. We've got it out electronically. It's on the website. So
Oh, yeah, so we could add the link and a brief message on
That'd be
that.
good.
Yeah.
All right. And then there's spiny lizards.
That's it for communications.
yeah, we put some stuff in there about the tennis courts being closed and that the pickleball and basketball area will be closed as well.
as much as possible.
Hmm.
As much as possible.
So, yeah, okay.
And I think we also need to say we have very good cameras, so we really do ask for people to abide by the rules.
Yeah.
Please don't go in the courts. When they start setting the forms and all of that, please don't.
Yeah, we need to have extra cameras. If we have any movable like trail cams, set them up for that. If there's any place good near there.
We've had that discussion. So
Okay.
yes, sir.
You're as usual. You're way ahead of me.
It's in the plan.
I'm in your wake. So,
No.
I think that's funny. I'm in your wake. I haven't heard that before.
been left behind.
Good thing about Fern Bluff, the cameras we have there now are actually on the light poles, so they're not going to be affected by any of the work. So we can actually keep those focused on the
And
courts
change them.
themselves. So
Got it. Perfect.
So you'll see when I sneak out and put Jessica's initials in the concrete.
We will, and I will come to your house. I just want you to know.
we will find you.
We will find you.
So all but one of the parks is open now.
All of the parks are open.
All the parks are open. But
It's
just
just
one's not.
Fern Bluff Park will be having some construction for the next probably week to 10 days. Because we're having to fix all that mulch, that front berm areas, the area at the back. We've got to put sod there. So Texas Lawn and Garden is really good about working around and not having or trying not to close down any areas that they don't need to. People just need to be aware that there is construction there and stay away. If there's cones or netting up, just don't go in that area. They're working hard, try to get it all put back together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll sketch it out and you can elaborate as needed.
Okay, sounds good.
Can I make one comment?
Please do.
I'd like to thank the folks that participated in the lead and copper testing.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. I mean, we've completed the testing. It's all at the laboratory now, waiting results. So we'll do some follow-up with the test results to each one who submitted a sample. So thank you for helping out. It went fairly well this year. So pretty good.
Perfect.
That's it.
All right. Well, next up is legal, and we've got some ongoing litigation, and we need some legal advice. So at this time, I would reference Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, part known as the Texas Open Meetings Act, which authorizes the board to convene executive session for certain purposes. These purposes include receiving legal advice from our attorney, Section 551.071. So the time is 6:43, and we're going into executive session for that purpose. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Hi.